Hi guys, how you all doing? I wish you a very happy new year, and I just wish that you have a great year of reading and watching and just consuming amazing content. So your girl is here. Probably 11 days late, but she's here. Better late than never, guys. Better late than never. So as you all might have already seen, that this video is about all the 45 books that I have read. My Goodreads says 39, but meaning me, I forgot to add a lot of books, to be precise 6 books to the list, which I realized when I was making this, like making my little note of how many books I have read. So I have made a list. Oh, and I want to show you guys something. Can you see? How cool is this? Yeah, this is my Kakashi phone charm. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. Before I dive in, do you guys want to see the pile? Do you? I'll show you. Okay, wait. No. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so that's the pile. I have forgotten a few books back in Delhi, and some of them were audiobooks, and I have read a few ebooks and webtoons and mangas, so they are not here. But this pile is huge. So the ranking I have done is from book number 45, rank 45, to the best of the best, the finest, the number 1. So we'll go in this order, starting with rank 45. Now the books I'm going to show you, they were pure disappointment. Like, I had great expectations but shattered, obviously. First book in such category, rank 45, is Cracking the Code by Ayushmann Khurrana. My love for this man is really eternal, but he didn't do a good job writing a book. Like, no, don't do it, kid. It's not for you. The next one in the same category is none other than Darkly Love. And not love but hate which the people show towards it, it's purely justified. It's just romanticizing of very toxic behavior, masculine behavior, and I just cannot understand why some people find it really enjoyable. Like, pure garbage. The next on the list, which is not like garbage category but heartbreakingly disappointing, starts. The first one in this category is On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous. Now, hear me out. A lot of the people out there have said that this is one of the most heartbreaking stories out there they have read, but I just couldn't even connect to it. Like, I don't care about the characters. I really didn't felt sad while I was reading horrific things that have happened to them. I just couldn't connect. That's there. The next book in the same category is Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. It is kind of philosophical, fictional, also self-help, a lot to put into a book. But to be honest, I just found it very basic. The narration was like child story. Yeah. The next book, which I heard an audiobook of, it's called Dharma Yodha Kalki, and it's part of a series. Obviously, I'm not going to continue, so you can guess how it was. In the same category, the book that is next is Man Called Ove, whatever. Well, a lot of the people I know, I really trust their recommendations. They absolutely adore this book, but same, I couldn't. I found Uva, the main lead, to be very grumpy, very rude, and a very non-likable, almost hated personality. I just can't. It's I guess it's fine. It's fine to hate the books that others love. So yeah. The next book in the same category is none other than the biggest classic of all times, The Great Gatsby, and I couldn't. It said that it is the American living an American dream. Well, it was close to a nightmare for me. So yeah, that's Great Gatsby. I might try reading other works of Fitzgerald, but Great Gatsby was not my thing. Now, the category which I want to talk about It is kind of guilty pleasure, like, sis, it's not that deep category. I sort of enjoyed them, but they were not really that deep. That's all I want to say. The first series of books in this is 8 volumes of True Beauty that I read. So I was talking about True Beauty and my brother came in to give me a little bottle of Fanta. So yeah, True Beauty, it's a webtoon, and I have heard that there is also a K-drama series on it. It's cute. It's good. It's good. I binge read it a bit. I'm yet to complete it though, but it was okay. It was fun. That's all. The next in the same category is The Love Hypothesis. Many cringe-worthy scenes, but many fluffy ones as well. I really liked the chemistry. I loved the certain conversations and the way Adam dealt with, you know, difficult situations. So it's cute. It's a very cute book. So The Love Hypothesis for you guys. Okay, the next ones which I'm gonna talk about, they were good. They were almost great, but they were just good. You know, you get what I'm trying to say. Probably you do, probably you don't. I don't know how to describe it better. The first one in this category is, where is it? Yeah. So I have a physical copy of this. It's kind of a poetry collection. It's called Rippling Waters of Solitude, and it's kind of graphic poetry, if I'm not wrong. It's having a few poems which I really connected to and felt like really good while reading them. A few were okayish, so it was kind of a mixed bag, you know, a mixed bag of memories. I liked few, I was okay with few others, so yeah, that's there. But it was a good experience because it was, you know, I was seeing pictures and there were this, I don't know how to describe it, but like, it's poetry, it's words, sentences, lines, but some design is made out of it. Do you guys know what's it's called? Then please do put it down in the comments. Okay, the next one in the list is The Color Purple, and yeah, it is a good work. It is really good. I can understand why people really love it, but not the top tier books, you know. Yeah. The next book that I'm going to talk about, it is called The Yellow Wallpaper, and it's a short story basically, and I read it on recommendations of Bookleo. She is my most favorite booktuber out there right now. So yeah, Bookleo. She recommended it a lot and I gave it a try. It's creepy. It's really creepy. It's fun. It is basically seeing the journey, you know, seeing the process of a woman just losing her shit. So yeah, it was fun. The next one in the list is called none other than The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri, and I loved it. It is been in my current reads for the longest of time. I have DNF'd it and then again started reading, but it's not because it's not that good, but it was too much to take in. I really connected to it after I completed reading it, and I understood a lot about it after thinking and rethinking about the things I have read in this one. It's kind of a heavy. You cannot probably finish it in one reading. I won't recommend that. You know, take your time and read Namesake. And I'm gonna read all her works. So yeah, I loved it. You would have guessed. The next one in this list is a very short read, very funny, satirical, gripping at the same time. None other than Animal Farm by George Orwell. Quick read, fast-paced, such a fulfilling experience it is, you know. So pick this one, guys. It's a classic. You would have a great experience while reading it. So yeah, that's Animal Farm for you guys. The next one in the list is called The Midnight Library. Again, a book which I really took my time to complete. I was reading Colin Hoover's books before reading this one. So I was, you know, completing a book in 1 sitting, 2 days at max. And then I started Midnight Library and it took me long, like about 2 to 3 weeks. I just went through it slow and steady, and you know, it was fun. It was a bit preachy at times, but it is a good read. It is a read that you will like to go back to and think about. So that's Midnight Library for you guys. The next book in the list is surprisingly non-fiction. One of the books which I really loved from 2022 is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. So the thing is that one of my professors, he was teaching us some concepts of astrophysics, and he could intrigue the curious mind, my curious mind. And that day only I was coming back, and I just spotted it out there in a random bookstore, and I was like, let's grab it, let's give it a shot. And it turned out to be one of my top books of 2022. So that's there. The next book that I'm going to talk about is by one of my most favorite author, and it's not a novel, it's a short story collection, and I think I have talked a lot about it on my channel. It's Men Without Women. Really absurd, quirky, and I don't know, it's just weird when you read them, but as soon as you finish reading it, it makes you think, it puts you into this loop, a never-ending loop of thinking and rethinking that what shit went down there again. Yeah, so this is one of those books. Now the next book that I want to talk about is called The Metamorphosis, and what Franz Kafka did there was, I don't know how to describe it. It's the most absurdist thing I have read, yet the most relatable thing out there. It's about a person turning into a bug, and yet that is probably the most intriguing and relatable stuff that I could have read. So yeah, if you want to know what's it about, how it is, just read Metamorphosis. It's a short read, it's a good one. It's a really good one. Now the book I want to talk about, it is also in good category, like real good. So the book is by Colin Hoover. It's called November 9, and there are a lot of people who claim that it's problematic, but I didn't find it. I just think that human beings are not perfect, and just because some people have flaws, you don't get to reject them, you don't get to cancel them. So yeah, it's a cute love story about flawed people, and I loved it. I really loved this read. So give it a try and check for yourself that you like Coho or you don't. The next book by Coho, it was yet again, it's called It Ends With Us, and even the non-readers probably have heard of it. It's so popular. I read it and I really enjoyed it. I know that there are this two group of people who love it, and then there are people who hate it. Well, I didn't absolutely love it, but it changed my perspective towards a certain topic which I was really rigid about. Earlier I used to think that, I had a notion that physical abuse or abusive relationships, and they are bad, and the people who decide to stay in them, I had a certain hate for them. But after reading it, I kind of realized that it is obviously easier said than done, and how or why certain people cannot step out of it even if it's crossing limits, what goes inside their head. So yeah, it was kind of enlightening, I can say. So yeah, that's there. The next book that felt like a warm hug while I was reading it, it is called none other than Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And oh my god, I have said it earlier and I'm gonna say it again, it felt like an anime movie written in pen and paper. It is so cozy, so warm, so fluffy. It felt like a warm hug. So that's Before the Coffee Gets Cold for you guys. Okay, the next is by, again, one of my favorite authors, but it was so close being, the 5-star read, the top tier, but couldn't. It is Da Vinci Code, and because I say that it's not top, like 5 stars, top tier, doesn't mean that it isn't good. It is an absolute page turner. It is brilliantly written. It is so gripping. You have to read it. It's Da Vinci Code. It's amazing. Okay, the next one that I'm going to talk about is a cult favorite, cult classic, you can say. It is by Miss Sally Rooney. It's called Normal People, and oh god, it is beautifully written, guys. This is a book that dives deep into the character. It's less about the plot, more about the people, their character development, and that's Sally Rooney, that's Normal People. I want to read everything that Sally Rooney writes. She's brilliant with her work, and yeah, it's great. It's great. Just read it. It's probably a bit too much to take in. You cannot just read it in one go, or probably you can, but I don't suggest it again. You have to take your time and enjoy reading normal people. It's beautiful. It's art. It's basically art. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to talk about, it is a manga series. It's the first manga series that I started reading. I read 3 volumes of it, and it's called The Spy Family. It's adventurous, it's fun, it's comedy, it's drama, it's everything. There is every bit of element in it, and it is so well executed. I absolutely love Spy Family, and I can't wait to read the 4th volume. Okay, the next one is again a webtoon series, which is made into graphic novels, and there are a lot of people who would say that I don't want to read graphic, but dude, I am putting this above Sally Rooney, above normal people. So you have to understand that Heartstoppers is such a blessing. Every minute of reading it feels like a warm hug. The beauty of Alice Oseman in describing the queer community, the people and their diversity and the relationships with their sexuality is just brilliant. It's so beautiful, it's so cozy. Every character, you are gonna love each and every character out there, you know. You're gonna understand them, you're gonna cry with them, you're gonna laugh with them. It's beautiful. The Heartstoppers is it's chef's kiss. Okay. 4 volumes of it I'm done with it. The next book that I'm going to talk about, it was just a random pick from an Instagram store. I was ordering a few books, and I had a bit of more budget, so I decided, okay, let's get this one. And I had zero idea what it is about. I thought that, okay, let's give horror genre a try. But was it horror? Did it scare the shit out of me? Well, yes. Did it make my skin crawl up? Well, yes. It's amazing. If you are a fan of plot twist, girl, pick this up. The plot twist in this book was like a tight slap across your face. You know, it hits you that hard. It's amazing. I loved it. I was not enjoying it to the maximum in the initial stages, but oh god, what this book did by the last few chapters, I just couldn't have guessed. Amazing. Okay, the next book is the book that make me dive deep into a world which I don't see myself coming out of. It's Dan Brown's Angels and Demons, and I am so intrigued by this Robert Langdon guy. I know that I'm going to read each and every work of his, like the whole series, and then probably all the other books that Dan Brown has written. And that's the power of Angels and Demons. It's adventurous, it's thriller, it's a bit of romance. It keep you on your toes. You know, you're always on the edge. There are great plot twists. It is having well researched things, well researched stuff going on in there. So just pick it. If you are thinking that you should read Dan Brown, girl, go and buy Dan Brown's books. Okay, just do it. Give yourself that opportunity to be happy. Do that for yourself. The next book, how do I describe it? This is a book which is gonna shatter you into pieces, and you're gonna love every bit of it. You are going to bawl your eyes out. You're gonna have red, puffed up, teary eyes by the 100 pages into this book. This book will give you trauma, pure basic trauma, but it will turn out to be one of your most favorite books. This is the capability of the Kite Runner. That's that for you guys. So yeah, top tier, best of the best. The next book that I'm going to talk about, it's the first book I read by Colleen Hoover, and it is not the genre that she writes in. It's a psychological thriller. It's called Verity, and did it blew off my mind. Did I throw the book across the room after finishing it? Well, hell yes. Yeah, I did that, and I was like, so many times while reading it. Just pick it. Just read it. I cannot describe it. I cannot talk more about it. This is one of the top tier books. So that's it. The next book. I am literally ashamed of the fact that how much annotations I have of this one. At least 100. At least. You see it? I loved red, white and royal blue with every fiber in my body. It is so good. It is the romance. not romance. It's enemies to friends to lovers story between the royal prince and the first son of America. And no matter how unrealistic it sounds, I just sucked in the romance like anything, and I loved the duo more than anything else. So, love of my life. Now, it was top 3. Now, the number 2 and number 1 were on each other's throat to be the number 1 book, but by the slightest, The Handmaid's Tale missed the first spot. But I kid you not, when a dystopic literature feels like this shit can happen any moment right now, you know that it's done right. Every minute into The Handmaid's Tale, it felt like right now this can happen. I am gonna live the hell of a world that's happening in here. I can live that any moment right now. No matter how many years ago it was written, it felt that realistic. It felt like everything's gonna go upside down any moment now. That's Handmaid's Tale for you guys. It is brilliantly written. Every bit of it, every single thing have stayed in my head, and I can close my eyes and imagine the whole story in front of me. I was so gripped by this one, so intrigued, so much in love. I just cannot stop raving about it. It's one of the best books out there. One of the best books I have read till date is The Handmaid's Tale for you guys. Now, the first, the rank 1. I am so sad that I don't have the book to show you guys, even though I have a physical copy of it. But I am also glad that I talked so obsessively about the book that my best friend finally decided to borrow it from me, and probably she's reading it. If you're not, read it. Yeah, that is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and this is the book which is gonna be a classic after 100 years. Okay, people are gonna talk about this book even after hundreds of years. It is having such high potential. If you have heard of it and people have raved about it and you're skeptical, don't. It's the best book that ever existed. If you ever decide to read just one book in your lifetime, please pick Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It is that good. I am not going deep into it, but it is a very, very emotional roller coaster of a journey of Miss Evelyn Hugo and her path through success, her downfall, her good and bad days. There are characters in the story which felt so real, so tangible, that I felt like I could touch them, I could feel them. You're gonna hate Evelyn, you're gonna love her, you are gonna enjoy every moment of the book. So please read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And with that, I'm gonna wrap up. So that's it. These were the 45 books that I read in 2022, and oh god, am I proud of myself? Hell yeah! Have I started reading? Have I finished any book in 2023? Hell no! I'm gonna do that soon. Meanwhile, you guys like the video. Do that and probably share it. I'll appreciate a bit of more views. That's it. So until the next time, see you guys. Bye.